Thank you for the opportunity. Good morning, distinguished colleagues and participants. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It is a great honor for us to represent the Ministry of Finance of the Republic Indonesia at this PEMNA BICOP session. On behalf of my delegation, I want to express our appreciation to the organizer and all participating countries for this valuable opportunity to share experiences and best practices in public financial management. My name is Ahmad Tamisudi, and together with my colleague, Mr. Hendro, we are pleased to present an overview of the recent public financial management reform and budget management practices in Indonesia. These reforms help our budget more transparent, efficient, and accountable. We focus on PBB, performance-based budgeting, MTEF, digitalization, and better cash and debt management. These support our fiscal discipline and development goals of Indonesia. Let's move to the next slide. In this slide, I will explain the milestone of our budgeting reform. There are three phases. The first phase from 23 and to 29 introduced several laws. With these laws, we set how state money is managed from planning, spending, and supervision, all the way to accountability. Also, we set how national and regional finances are managed together from revenue to spending, including the handling of assets like debt, receivables, and state or regional property. And also, we set the authority and guidelines for PPK, or the Audit Board of Indonesia, to audit how state money is managed, used, and reported, all to ensure full compliance with the existing regulation. In this phase, we started to implement unified budgeting, MTF, performance-based budgeting. To support that implementation, we also create and use application like RKEKL DIPA and RenjaKL. This application mainly to collect and analyze budget data from all ministries and government agencies. And then in the second phase, from 2010 and to 2019, we strengthened this with Government Regulation 90, number 90 and 17. For number 19, with that, the rule how the ministry and government agencies plans their activities and budget for 1 year, from identifying needs, preparing the budget plan, all the way to getting approval from government. For the Regulation 17, Indonesia sets the rules for national development planning and budgeting synchronization. It explains how the government plans to plans the budget, evaluate the budget performance, and manage state finance overall. All the way, we improve synergy between planning and budgeting. And then also we reformatted MTF. To adopt the new rule, we have improved the apps and create 3 new apps like SPAN and SMART for evaluating and monitoring the performance, and then also Satu DJA for integrating budget data analysis, and then Krishna for national planning analysis. Now in the third phase, from 2020, we redesigned the system with Government Regulation 6, year 2023, and Omnibus MOF Regulation number 62. Government Regulation 6 replaces the Government Regulation before, the number 19, to modernize the government's planning and budgeting system. The improvement mainly focus on performance, integration, digitalization, governance, and alignment with current fiscal reforms. We focus on spending quality, synergy between central and subnational government, and better synchronization like Krishna Sakti application. To support that, we improve the apps like RKL DIPA, and then also integrate the data system between Krishna, the planning apps, and Sakti, the budgeting apps, so that there is more accurate data for developing annual budgeting. And then we move to the next slide. In this slide, we can see the key approaches that we use to support PPP, and then the instrument. Let's start from the key approaches. The first is unified budget. This means that all government revenues and all government spending are combined into one single budget. There is no separation between routine and development budget, and there is no off-budget funds also. All planning, budgeting, and reporting follow one integrated system. And the second is PPP. That means that government funding is directly connected to the result it produces, starting from input and then leading to outputs, and then finally creating outcomes that benefit the public. This approach uses clear performance indicators to measure what each program should achieve, along with cost standard to ensure the budget is reasonable. It also relies on regular evaluation, so the government can check whether money is used efficiently and effectively, and improve programs based on the result. And then the third is MTEF, budgeting approach that support multi-year planning in our country, usually for the next 3 years. It helps the government maintain fiscal sustainability by making sure future spending stays within realistic revenue limits, and it ensures that budget remain aligned with the long-term national priorities. Moving to the instrument, there are 3 instruments that we use. The first is performance indicator, cost standards, and performance monitoring and evaluation. All of these instruments work together to support the quality expenditure principle. They help ensure that government spending is efficient, effective, priority-driven, transparent, and accountable. And then next to them, let's specifically see the performance indicator and cost standard. The left side is performance indicator. This means that something what we want to achieve. We plan step by step from the strategic objective until the output with the output indicator. In this case, we make sure that every level has a clear target. And then the right side, it means that how much it costs. We set the cost rules like SSP, the cost structure standard. This is the recipe of the cost. It means that how much for example, how much for salary, materials, and etc. And then the second is SPK. SPK is cost to make one result for the product. For example, $1,000 to build one classroom. And then the third is input cost standard, SPM. This is the cost of one item. For example, $50 for one bag of cement. In this side, we make sure that every result has a price tag. In short, the left side is we plan what to do, step by step, and the right side, we control how much it costs. Okay, and then for the next slide, will be presented by my colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Samsis. Good morning to all fellow participants. I will continue the presentation. So this slide illustrates the planning and budgeting in Indonesia. We have 2 separate ministry to manage the planning and budgeting. The planning process is managed by the planning agency we call Bappenas, and the budgeting process managed by Ministry of Finance. So on the left side is the planning process managed by Bappenas. The documents include the RPGMN, the 5-year government plan, and then RKP, the government annual plan. And these plans then translate into the more specific plan, which is the Renja KL, the annual ministry plan. And on the right side, the budgeting process, the managed by Ministry of Finance, the documents include the RAPBN, the annual budget, and the RKKL, the annual ministry budget. So this synergy between the planning agency and Ministry of Finance is crucial because we want to align the planning and budgeting, because we already implement the performance-based budgeting. So the performance indicators in the planning process and budgeting process must be aligned. Yeah, more detail in the budgeting process. So the process runs from January to December, but I want to only highlight several key stages. So in January, we set our policy, our priorities and national goals. And then in February, we set the macroeconomic framework and fiscal principle. And then in April, we have trilateral meeting between planning agency, Bappenas, and Ministry of Finance, and also spending ministries to synchronize our programs and activities. This is very important meeting in this budgeting cycle. And the process continues until November. The president stipulated the president regulation as the basis for implementing budget in the following year. And the next slide, this illustrates the MTEF we already implemented in Indonesia. So for example, here we have a program for constructing a road. So this MTEF ensure that the program does not stop or not get interrupted. So this ensure the continuity of the programs. So when we, for example, in the 2026, we have allocation for 10 kilometers road with the budget 10 billion rupiah. We always have the forward estimate, which are 27 until 29. So this ensure that the programs has strong continuity and do not get interrupted. And this MTEF combined the bottom-up and top-down approach. The bottom-up, for example, when we determining the how much the cost and how long the road will be built. And for the top-down approach, for example, the macroeconomic and also the fiscal targets. For example, the economic growth and fiscal deficit. The last slide, I would like to wrap up in the three key points. First, that we already implement the performance-based budgeting. This is very crucial to evaluate our achievement of our targets. The goal set by the planning agency, but the budget came from the Ministry of Finance. And the point two, that the achievement should be follow the money rule in the state budget, so we have a strong and healthy budget. And the point three, we keep improving our planning and budgeting by coordinating with the ministry, with the planning agency. We improving our MTEF and NTBF for better planning, because better planning means better results. So we want have the best result for our nation. That's how we improve we make our budgeting process good and strong. Thank you very much for your kind attention.